All right, folks, welcome back. You're listening to Racer Radio, FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.
All right, who's your special guest there, Sunshine?
Well, I'm hoping we have Daniel Blair, a trackside reporter, occasional play-by-play commentator for NBC Sports, former racer, to talk to us about San Diego Supercross next week.
Daniel, are you online?
I'm on the line and ready to go and ready to get down there. What's going on?
Oh.
So you must be leaving Oakland as we speak?
Right?
I'm actually a NorCal guy, so I drove home last night after the race, slept in my own bed, and now I'm watching my Dallas Cowboys get beat to smithereens.
Oh,
so it's been a wonderful Sunday.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Yeah, I watched motocross last night.
I caught the last one, the 450 main.
Trippy little track.
It got really ruddy.
Yeah, but it was really hard packed at the bottom and soft at the top.
And I have to ask, since I have you, do they prep the track between races, or do you get what you get if you go last?
Oh, no.
Yeah, so what they do is after qualifying during the day, they'll get in there and completely make over the track. But from that point on, it's hit or miss. So they can get out there in some of the intermissions, and what they do is they'll go to the parts of the track that might be the most dangerous and fix those as best they can. But a lot of the track just doesn't get touched. They let it kind of go, and that actually makes it more challenging for the riders late. So they're all used to it by now. They understand the process. But you're dead on. There parts of the track were pretty tough last night.
Do the 450s always go last? Do they rotate through?
Yeah, always 450s last. That's the 450 main event. That's what everyone's coming to see, and it's a great system to qualify throughout the night to get them there. And of course, we got the 250 regional championship mixed in as well. But that 450 main event, that's why everyone shows up, and of course, that's when the track's at its worst.
Yeah,
it's just 3 hours of wear and tear.
But Daniel, I watched the 250 and I watched the last chance qualifier in the 450. I like the 250 class. I think that class is about as competitive as you can get. Don't you kind of agree? I mean, the 450. I'm not taking nothing away.
You just said they come for the 450s,
well, I'm not.
Dave.
I know, but you want to watch the 250 class.
No, you actually nailed it. And it's a funny joke in the sport of Supercross and motocross is, of course, we want to see the big names in the 450 class. But those 250 riders, for the most part, are younger riders that are kind of coming through, figuring it out, and it's kind of fun watching them not have it figured out.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, it's like they want it more, but they don't know why they want it more until all of a sudden.
Exactly.
And these tracks are so insane lately. I mean, when you look at the overview of that track in Oakland, it made me dizzy just looking at the whoops.
Well, the fitness, too, because of how long it goes. And I can't imagine the last 10, 15 minutes if you are in the lead or right around that, and then you start getting tired, and then, okay, don't think that, and push that aside.
And as far as I can tell, name recognition means nothing. Because
not this year. I mean, we're 2 rounds in, so it is early. You don't want to overreact, but right now it's so wide open because the names you would expect to just be there every week.
Yeah.
Well, they've had weird nights, so right now you got about 8 or 9 riders who all think that they can win, and that's when it's at its best. Is when that many guys believe in themselves because they're not willing to just settle, and that's what's making it so good out of the gate this year.
Without a doubt. Now But coming to Petco Park?
Yeah, that is so awesome.
Why don't we just race in my backyard? I mean...
because there's better seating for the spectators, Dave.
I got it, but for the riders, they are going to get dizzy because that is one small track. Yeah.
Well, and okay, if you go back in the history, Supercross used to be at Qualcomm for a long time, and it's a pretty big floor. It was always known for that.
Yeah.
And then Petco obviously does have a smaller floor. It's got more the square baseball floor than Qualcomm did, but they use it well. Our track crew is so good at maximizing that floor space. And, it's a little bit smaller of one, but I've already looked at the track map, and it's a good one. I think it'll be a good racetrack. The first 2 have been awesome, and for me, in my line of work, I'm all about the stadium. I love different stadiums.
Yeah.
Petco's always been a good one to work in, and you're right by downtown. The pits are right there. It's just got a good feel. So For me, though, it's always the weather. I always check because I just want to make sure with the open roof that we're okay. And it's looking like we're going to have an okay week and a great weekend, so it should be awesome.
Yeah, it was raining on our monster trucks in the morning yesterday morning, and then it was fine, and then it was a wonderful day.
But those guys, the monster trucks, that's one thing. But the motocross guys, boy, oh boy, oh boy.
It looks like San Diego, I believe, is the third of 17 stops, correct?
That's correct.
And we have some locals. I was looking up the names, and I saw Mitchell Falk from Costa Mesa. It's at Carlsbad, but I think Costa Mesa. Dylan Schwartz, Alpine. Hayden Deegan, Temecula. Christian Craig, Temecula. Ryan Surratt, Corona. Like, there's some people to go and...
And we have a Toyota dealership that sponsors Toyota of Escondido.
They sponsor a lot of people.
Don't they, though?
It's a funny joke at the Supercross. Whenever a rider's on the podium, they think they're sponsors. And they all seem to ride for Toyota of Escondido. They all do.
And if you go to Toyota of Escondido, there's nobody there riding a motorcycle.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's all Toyota. It just happens to be management has always been.
Oh, good for them.
Motocross. Well, it's like Toyota, or it's like El Cajon Ford.
Yeah, sponsoring.
Sponsors Barona Speedway. But the owners actually race,
Yeah,
that's
true.
another thing. But it's such a good race. I mean, and I think motocross has come such a long way. They figured out the combination. The races are not stupid long. They're just enough time that you could come up from behind. You can make an impact. Anybody can make a mistake. And boy, I tell you what, there was some crazy ones last night.
Yeah, I saw right when Jason Anderson took the lead. That's right when we turned it on. Riding a Kawasaki. I have a little KX100, so I was happy to see that. My little sweet.
Well, he was happy too.
Yeah.
He just moved to Kawasaki.
Yes.
And I'll give you some background on kind of how this works. Kawasaki, I mean, it's a very powerful franchise in our sport. They've done a lot of great things. They've had Ryan Villapoto. They've had Eli Tomac. And when Eli Tomac left them, there's this void, and you're kind of wondering, is this team going to be as good as they've been the last 10 years? And they took a chance on Jason Anderson. He's a 2018 champ, so they know he had something.
Yes, but not for a while.
It'd been 47 races since he had won. So last night, I mean, the energy on the floor with the Kawasaki team and Jason, it was big for both, because for Jason, he finally gets a win again, and for Kawasaki, they went, wow, we did make the right decision. We got the right guy, and we could keep on with our winning ways.
Yeah. It looked like he was holding back tears.
He's a pretty strong guy up front, but I think deep down in there, there might have been a few, because he's had a rough and bumpy road since he won his championship, and a lot of people doubted that he still had it, and he's always known that he has. He said that in our press conference. He said, I've known this was coming again, and to finally get it, it's probably such a relief for the guy, because he is a great rider, a great competitor, and it had just been a long time since we'd seen it.
Well, and he's a great representative for the sport as well. He comes across well. Kids look up to him. He's got the right attitude. Yeah, no, it was fun last night. I enjoyed. I actually didn't go to Monster Trucks just so I could stay home and watch it.
What? Does Dirt Dude know that? So it's next Saturday, correct? The 22nd. What time? What time does it start? When should spectators be there?
I mean, it depends on if you want to just come for the race. I would recommend hitting the whole day. I'd get out there at noon. We have the Fan Fest. That's pretty awesome. There's a lot of activation. You get to see all the bikes up close. And like you were saying, the bikes, I mean, the whole sport has just continued to modernize. The motorcycles are insane right now. So to get out there and be able to see them up close, see the riders.
Do you have to pay extra for that?
Qualifying. No, if you bring an empty Monster can, you have to have your regular ticket. But if you bring an empty Monster can to recycle, gets you into the Fan Fest, and you get to partake in everything. It's pretty awesome.
Good to know.
It's
Britney,
great that Monster does that.
Go buy a Monster drink. I don't want to see you in the trash can looking for a Monster drink, okay?
But I want to see the bikes up close, Dave.
Well, I don't know. You probably did you see that one segment? And I think it was Kawasaki. I'm not 100% sure, where they did that breakdown of the swing arm and the engine and where they did the mounts and what have you. That was the best, because I think that would educate a lot of riders.
I wish we had you longer.
Yeah, we're going to get you back. Hey, well, maybe we'll have you call back after San Diego. You give us a blow-by-blow.
No problem. Call me up.
All right, Daniel.
Thank you so much, Daniel.
All right, we're going to take a small break, but Guns Owners Radios. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. Right here on FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The Answer.